So.
Alex, you around?
I'm always around.
Oh, sweet, man. How are things hanging out in your area?
Oh, as crazy as it goes, you know.
You still in Oklahoma?
Yep.
Cool. Are you an Okie from Muskogee?
No. I'm from the island or the soon-to-be island of California.
Yeah. See, Oklahoma makes me think of Lou Gossett there in Officer and Gentleman, the one scene where he's meeting the new recruits, and what's his name there said he was from Oklahoma, and he says, the only thing Oklahoma has is steers and queers. Which are you?
That's from Full Metal Jacket about Texas.
Well, it's also in Officer and
Okay.
Gentleman there, where Lou Gossett Jr. is the DI going on down the line. He says a couple other rather inappropriate things, which I won't mention in that scene, but but that's what it always reminds me of.
I always, if I hear Oklahoma, I just think about like Simpsons parodying Oklahoma the musical.
I've never seen that one, but that would be interesting. I used to
I've
like
never
that musical.
this parody nor the original Oklahoma the musical.
Yeah, no, I've never seen Oklahoma either. Capital city, Oklahoma City.
Yes.
Is it?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
So we saw a used fire in the morning, the imprint of a 20-foot being in the gravel, dirt, sand.
Yeah, well, kind of
rock,
kind of muskeg because
Yeah.
it's northern, so it's like, you know, tundra, sparse for trees, a little bit hilly, but there are copses of trees here and there. But yeah, you can see an impression, like you can see like clearly a fire pit, and that it wasn't like a human-sized fire. You can tell just simply by the diameter of it that it was like proportionate to a giant.
Garl would put his hand up to the coals or the ashes to try to see how old, or how long it's been since it was burning. If it was, if they're still fairly hot, or if they're cold enough where he could touch. He's going to try to make an estimate of that, so he can start working on figuring out for tracking how far he might be and like that, and also to let his party members know how long ago it's been.
It honestly just seems like it was like just the previous night. So
okay.
Yeah, you can tell it's fresh. Like it's not like 2-3 days old at all. It's like just literally like from the previous night. Because I think it's about early afternoon now, I think.
Okay.
Well, we'll say it is.
Yep.
Hey,
early afternoon.
Carl, could you find a trail? I mean, I know this is rock, but I mean, giants are, you know, not stealthy. I mean, you could probably find, some evidence of a giant trail. Could you not, Carl?
Garl would say, I can try, but he would look to Cloud and say, if Cloud can fly up high enough, he might be able to see off in the distance some movement or something that would also assist in doing this.
Yeah, sure, that'll help. And Cloud, before you fly off, let me say a little blessing. Anoint your eyes with some sacred beer so that you can see better.
Let's see here.
And give him a guidance for perception check or something.
My eyes. Doctor says I'm not supposed to get beer in them.
But the
You need a new doctor.
the girl's survival role, if that's what you want, DM.
I'll give you a guidance too. I was going to give both of you a guidance, whichever one happened first.
If you want to roll survival, you can roll survival, girl.
Well, I don't want to over
No, that's all right. Roll.
as far as that. So that'd be a 24.
Oh yeah. You know for sure that like it's just from like the previous night. And you might be several hours behind, but yeah. Anyways, you'll be able to
Know what direction?
Oh yeah, I would say easily. It looks like that like a general kind of northern.
Okay, because Garl would look in that muskeg to see about footprints and which way they went, and after checking the fire for time.
Yeah. Generally a northern direction. I'm trying to.
Garl will holler up the cloud if once he gets up in the sky. See anything?
There's nothing really left behind. You could maybe like no, not really. And let's just get a roll here for the weather though for today. Who would like to roll me some d20s for me, please?
I nominate silence.
Me too then.
I second that, or third that, I suppose.
Silence is silent.
Oh, sorry, had the mute on.
That's all right. I just want to figure out precisely what our weather is.
Okay, I rolled 2 d20s.
What's the first one?
Oh dear, it's 3.
A 3? Okay.
Yes.
The weather is typical for this time of year and everything. So it's cool because you guys are like a little bit north, a little bit getting into the tundra. Roll me a second one, please, for the wind.
Okay. I've got a 6.
It's calm. Roll me one more for precipitation, please.
Yeah. Okay, this one's a 12.
No precipitation. So typical out. As you guys are following sign of like the way that this giant has traveled. Someone else roll me another d20 or even silence again.
Another d20. Okay. 8.
Okay. Nothing happens pretty much all day as you guys are heading north, following this trail. Between Garl and Cloud up in the sky, you guys are, and even Cloud, you realize that flying up high, it's pretty cold. You know, if you guys continue north, that like you guys will be into the cold region again, because it is like pretty much the month of October, whatever it's called. I can't remember now. Shit. Can't remember my fantasy world months. And because Cloud is up in the sky, you guys do have like an expanded sight to the horizon. Like you guys literally travel like all day looking, no real sign. Only thing you guys really see is like wildlife. Nothing of like any threat. You do at one point, Garl, see like the only thing of kind of real interest that happens, like at one point you notice another trail crosses the trail you're following. So if the giant is heading north, it looks like that there was like a considerable sized group of humanoid footprints that were traveling in a general westerly direction.
And he's heading north?
Yeah. So it kind of went across, but you could see where these other footprints were. That roll me a survival.
It's and do it with a guidance, as I put some beer on you, because I want to determine, was there a fight? Did they battle? Were they friends? Did they meet each other, or is it just the trails happened to cross? You know, I want to know what happened here.
All right. Let's see here.
Ooh. While you're doing that, I want to give you the guidance, and then I want to sit down and I want to start playing with some hops to do an augury as a ritual.
That's a 16 on the survival.
Okay. The few things you can tell with the 16 is that the humanoid footprints were shod in, like, all in hide boots. And it looks as if, not as if there was a battle, but it looks like that they crossed the trail. And it looks like that they might have stopped to examine it.
Okay.
They didn't follow it. It looks like they stopped to examine it and then continued on. You could probably guess it was like a band of barbarians.
Okay.
And that's kind of really the only thing of like any significance that you see all day.
And Garl will holler up the cloud. Cloud, you starting to ice up yet? You need some warm grog?
I had a buddy whose nickname was Grog.
I guess Cloud will land and see what we're going to do next.
Since we got time, since our mighty diviner of divine truths is working hard there.
Mm,
Oh. I was just gonna say, I didn't mean to interrupt. I just remembered that you guys also have with you Warvel the Weevil and the Goblin.
Oh yeah. Could Warble have assisted or anything? Does he have any skill in this, or how about the goblin?
I think he has survival, but yeah, he just probably says he's like, yeah, it's probably more of those Uthgar barbarians.
What do you know about the Uthgar barbarians?
Usually not too friendly.
Okay.
And you guys have had a couple encounters with barbarians, and yeah, they weren't exactly like a lot of them on. You guys had a couple from a distance, and a couple you guys evaded using magic, but so that's like really the only thing of significance that happens all day. Because it is October, because it is more north, you guys actually walk kind of a little bit in the darkness, to get your full travel time in.
Okay.
You guys are all just considering. The goblin doesn't say much. He's used to being low rung on the ladder. I was gonna say low man on the totem pole, but that's misleading.
Yeah.
Because the low man on the totem pole is the most powerful. Because he's supporting everyone above him. That's why it's usually a bear or something at the bottom.
Carl once in a while will tell the goblin that how will he say this? He'll tell him, subject, make sure you protect our priest.
Far Eye is still there.
All right.
But since the night before has been very like kind of introverted. Looks like Far Eye has like a lot on their mind. And if asked, it's just about he does or he I don't remember, says like it's about just mulling over things that the god has shown. And it has something to do with like if you remember, he even said last time, he said like, I am the storm. And he just looks like he's trying to ponder that out. And, is kind of not really interacting so much. We'll have to jolt out of her contemplation. But you guys travel, like I said, it even like is you guys travel a bit in the dark because of just the length of the day is getting shorter. Cloud, you're flying. It's kind of cold and chilly up there, but it's okay for now. With your elevated height, you are able to see in the distance, and I mean like miles away. The light of a fire.
Ooh. That'll be easy to track.
Pardon me?
That will be easy to track. Fire, easy, light.
Like I said, what's his face? Cloud could see it because of his elevation, because like the rolling hills of the terrain and copses of trees and like miles, like. But you could see the point of illumination.
I will
By fire.
land and tell everyone.
So you hear the swooping and flapping of wings and feathers as a cloud lets down and joins you all on the terra firma. And he cocks his head. Warvel looks around at all y'all. He still isn't sure about how to communicate with the Aarakocra. The goblin again. He just looks with his somewhat sad eyes up at all of you.
Well, you ready to kill a giant?
We are giant slayers, are we not? We are king makers and realm shakers. Just ask my greenness.
Mm-mm.
All right. So, what's the plan? We want to try to sneak up on this guy? Like, when we get near the fire, we sneak up, pass without trace, surround him, and then just woo-ha! What say you?
Oh, we have to hit him with something big if we're going to do that.
Yeah,
Or a lot of little things really quickly.
Mm.
yeah. Like, we should, we should easily be able to sneak up on him, Once we get to the point where we can see the fire from land, we can pass without trace. And finish sneaking up on him. And surprise him and just bullwhack him. Maybe he's sleeping. Who knows? Just standing around like, all right, everybody, go. Crap, 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 crap. Stab, stab, stab.
Well, it's times like this. Garl will say, I wish we had some of that alchemist fire. We could have Cloud fly above and drop it on them.
Alchemist fire. Let me see here. Was it under 10 pieces? Do I have any alchemist fire? If I did, it would be in the wagon. Did we bring the wagon?
I
Well,
don't
depending on his
We had
constitutional
to
wisdom
bring the
throw, it
wagon.
could probably keep him still for a bit.
Oh, alchemist fire was apparently above 10 gold pieces. I do have flasks of oil. Not alchemist fire, though.
I mean, I could drop oil on him. You guys can light it.
Yeah, we can try that. Sit here and get a small fire and my small but mighty bow with some flaming arrows. Maybe stick them a few times and started a fire.
Yeah, but I think before we want to start lighting fires, we want to make sure we sneak up on them, just like rah 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 rah. The fire has a chance of arousing suspicion before we actually kill the creature.
Yeah. I mean, how strong do we think it's going to be?
Well, he's giant, so probably pretty strong.
Yeah. We're going to have to hit it with something big, and we have to be sure it's going to hit. Like, if Fire Eye was here, that'd be great.
Well, we could we want to hit it with something big.
If I'm lucky, I'll be able to keep it still, so we'll be able to recover a bit before we hit it again, but that's keeping it still, and it's not a guarantee.
You can hit it with Tasha's hideous laughter. It doesn't
Yeah,
end
that's
when
what I was thinking.
yeah, he gets a saving throw in there each round, but it doesn't like the hypnotic pattern. As soon as they take damage, they're no longer affected. But Tasha's hideous laughter is just a saving throw each round. We can whack on them all we want. But yeah, I like this idea. We just sneak up on them. Everybody get your places, and then 1, 2, 3, and you hit them with whatever you got.
Yeah.
Sound like a plan. Whatever you think is you got. You know, it's your call.
All
If you think
right.
that's the most thing you got, then that's the most badass thing you got. Like, I'm probably going to try to reach in and take a soul from him.
I will
use a third level spell slot. Inflict wounds.
I will weaken his soul and tie it to me and my little bow.
It's a lot more effective than my pointy sword, but at the same time, I mean, Garl may want to hide behind a rock and shoot the guy with a few arrows after marking him as a foe.
Yes.
You know? I don't know what you're planning on there, but maybe you could, I don't know, Cloud, you could turn into like a bear and bite him or something. I don't know. And, you know, Gobbo over here will hide behind the rock like Garl and shoot him, if that's what he does.
He blinks. Blink, blink.
And Warwolf can, I don't know, hit him with his hammers. And Silence can make him laugh his ass off.
Yeah.
And tell him he's an itty bitty failure or something like that. You're just a tiny little giant. And, you know, we just repeat. All right, so let's do this. All right, let's creep up to the direction where we saw the fire until we can see the fire from the land. You know, I don't know how far away that would be, like 100 feet or so, a few hundred feet.
Well, I have to get within 90 feet.
To mark him?
Yep.
Well, yeah, but I mean, this is just a, you know, like, you know, we just want to get to then, and then we cast Pass Without Trace. You know, everybody huddle around, and I, you know, do my little boop do spell casting thing. Suddenly, we are veiled in mystery and shadow, and we can sneak up on the giant. Is he awake? What's he doing?
Yeah, let's check out if he's awake or not, because sneaking up is going to be difficult if he's awake.
No, not without the Pass Without Trace. Won't be difficult at all with Pass Without Trace. We can sneak up on him. Dark, he's got a fire. You know, he can't see outside of the firelight because of the light. You can't see, you know, we can easily see him before he could see us.
Yeah.
Easily. And not even needing the Pass Without Trace.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm going to do the Pass Without Trace anyway.
Okay.
Just because.
You know, you guys have to, you know, like I said, it was miles. So you guys have to travel, like, honestly, another couple hours to get to him. In
Okay.
fact, I'm going to get everybody to make a Constitution roll.
For staying up so late?
Yeah, for traveling beyond, like, forced march or whatever.
Okay.
I want everybody to make me a Constitution savings throw, please.
Oh dear. It's doing it. Where am I?
I'm going to roll for Warvel and the Goblin.
I'm going to use
I've had
my.
worse
I'm going to
saving
use
throws.
my. I'm going to use my inspiration to re-roll that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think I'll do that as well.
That was a waste.
Yep.
Warvel's okay, but the little goblin, he looks pretty tired. So those who fail, one
What's the
level.
DC?
Oh, sorry. I think it's only 10.
Okay.
Nope, did not make it.
I think it is A for the first hour. 10. I'll just say it's 10. I'm not looking it up right now. I know it's not. Doesn't start very high.
Yeah, Garl's kind of tired.
The goblin looks a little bit. So for those who failed, you take 1 level of exhaustion, which means you have what is it? Disadvantage on ability checks.
I think that's part of it. Let's
I think
check.
that's the number. I think that's 1.
Let's check it here. Exhaustion, disadvantage on ability checks. Correct.
Hey, I'm fine. I got a 12.
So like
I got a 9, so
the cold, the night, the long day of travel has like worn down some.
Garl's short legs were not an advantage on this one. Had to move faster.
Oh, hold on. I'm gonna go see what my big dog wants.
Big dog, big dog.
Yes, indeed, Mr. McSneed. I wish it would have been something magical. Well, it wouldn't have made a difference anyways, because it's a con save. Even if it was a magic, Garl gets advantage on charisma,
Con.
charisma, wisdom, and intelligence versus magic. So, but not con.
Okay.
Being a deep gnome, I think, is where that comes from. A dark gnome, us Netherland.
Only +1 con save.
Oh, I
That
got
sucks.
shit. It sucks. I got a 0 on con saves for a modifier.
At least I got a +1 then. Hey.
Yeah, you're more robust than I am. It's all that goat blood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Don't worry about it, my Eric Okra friend. If you fall in battle, I'll make a whistle out of your femur or one of your wing bones just to remember you.
Well, they're already hollow, so that's an advantage.
And if I fall, use my skull as a mug to drink your beer when.
How about as a shot glass, little guy?
I got a big head. Just ask the greenness.
Yep.
Okay, I have no idea. He might have been dreaming.
Chasing the rabbits in the salmon can.
Yeah.
Grendel
So
does that.
yeah, my girlfriend's dog, she barks lots in her sleep, and she's like biggish, like she's like a shepherd pit bull something mutt from the reserves.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, like she totally looks like she's like a bush dog, just the way she looks. She's boy does she ever cry bark in her sleep. She with her mouth closed, eh? It makes me laugh.
Chasing caribou.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, chasing Indians. Sorry. But poor dog. Anyways, so when you guys eventually creep and sneak, and you could see that, like, yeah, he's like in a, I was gonna say a low area, but not necessarily a low area, but a area sheltered. By some hills, by some bushes.
Mm-hmm.
Not really a small area, because after all, it is a giant. It'd be a, for you guys, it's, still kind of a largish area, but when you guys can all see his fire is like, be like if you're having a bonfire on a beach. You could smell, before you approach, you could smell the smoke of the fire, and you could smell cooking meat.
Oh, cool. What kind of meat? Boom. It's my fire from Saturday night. My backyard.
Where?
I know. I sent it through Messenger.
Oh, because I think I saw it on Facebook.
Oh, yeah, then you saw it. Same picture.
Oh, okay.
What, Michael?
Just sent a picture of a bonfire.
Oh yeah. That's right. I know that. Yeah, you were, because
Yeah.
you were talking about what you went fishing. I think you said.
I went fishing Friday. I made the bonfire Saturday, but I didn't post the pictures of me fishing until Saturday.
Yeah, okay, yeah, because you're talking about like, the mini horses and the llamas.
Yeah. And by the way, I know you didn't see, but dude, I look fat. I got like a belly. I'm like a fucking hobbit.
Yeah, well, yeah. See, but like I said, I use voiceover, like
it doesn't
on
help
Apple.
with pictures. I know.
Well, no, and you know what? That's the thing. It's getting better and better and better, but not all the time. Like a lot of times, people say like, so and so posted a picture. That's it. And they'll say, picture. But with you, Michael, it actually said like, person wearing shorts, water in the background, right? Like it actually, like some pictures, like sometimes they'll say like, so-and-so posted a picture, it'll say picture of a person with smiling face and glasses or something, like, I don't know.
Okay.
Like sometimes, so there's that the recognition is getting better.
Okay, cool.
And it kind of freaks me out. But anyways, okay, so you guys get within to like spying distance, and you guys can hear like the crackling of the fire. You can smell the smoke, and you can hear like it's too quiet for you to distinguish what he's saying, but it sounds like that there's like, kind of singing under the breath. And you guys can indeed see that sitting near the fire, occasionally poking a log is a frost giant.
Why would a frost giant make a fucking fire?
Because he's.
That's a question.
You would think he would appreciate the night chill. Just saying.
However, mechanically speaking, there is nothing about fire with frost giants.
Yeah, he's not like he's not like vulnerable.
Vulnerable or anything.
Yeah.
There's just
Yeah, I mean, I suppose he still needs to cook and like see because he doesn't have dark vision.
Maybe to keep polar bears or bears away or other enemies like dragons, possibly. I don't know.
I will point out the use.
Dragon like fire.
I will point out the use, Michael. You
Yeah.
used your inspiration, right, on that roll?
I did not. I have not used it.
Oh,
Yet.
you didn't? Okay.
Charles did.
Well, I'll point out to you that, like, what you're saying, you actually have a point.
Uh-huh.
It is anomalous enough for you to question it. Another thing that's anomalous is that normally all the frost giants you've seen are just in hides or piecemeal armor that they've gathered from smaller guys, like, they'll just beat shields and breastplates into scales and make scale armor, lash it to their body or whatever. This guy is in, I wasn't gonna say head to toe, but neck to toe plate armor. And leaning against a boulder that's kind of half buried in the side of a hillock, you could see that there is a jagged double-sided great axe, giant-sized, of course, and there also is like a white bleached skull of a dragon leaning there, and there's like the
How big are they? Like, would it be possible for me to not wield it but pick it up?
Sure. It
Either
would be totally unwieldy and heavy, but yeah.
Totally unwieldy, but I could actually physically pick it up.
I would say so. It might weigh like 75 pounds or something, but yeah.
Yeah, okay. I could pick it. I mean, I'm not like strong or anything. I think I have like a 10 strength.
Actually, if anyone could tell me the weight of a great axe, and then just times.
Great axe. Let's see.
Wait, let's see. Large, huge.
Would be twice.
3 times 27.
4 times.
Great axe is 7 pounds.
Oh yeah, you're right, Michael, because it would double then double, right?
It would double to 14
so
and then double
2, 4, 4, 4, 4, so 16, 64 times heavier than a normal great axe. How much is a great axe?
7 pounds.
So 64, that's 8, that's 242. Oh shit, it's like almost 450 pounds or something like that, 500 pounds. So I will have to take that back, Michael.
All right, so me and another dude could pick it up.
Straight checks, yep. Because because it'd be like what you call it, 64 times heavier than a normal one.
I'm still thinking like large would be twice, and then
double it again.
It would be 4, so it'd be 4 times as high. Or if you're doubling again, it'd be 8 times as high.
No, because it's growing in all dimensions. So it's cubed.
Fucking heavy. All right, so who wants to help me carry this? Somebody say we sneak up there. See, we've got the thing. So our sneaking is great, right? We can stealth it. We go up there, we pick up his battle axe, and we creep away with it.
How would we prevent him from noticing?
Because he wouldn't see us.
I know.
Sneaky. We're sneaky. See, we sneak up there.
Well,
we're sneaky hobbits.
Besides that, Garl, when you're talking about that, will say that what I can do is I can go ahead and blind him
Well, that will let him know that somebody's around. I mean, he's just sitting there. He's looking at the fire. He's eating his goddamn walrus meat or whatever.
No, it actually looks like it's like a caribou or an elk or something, some sort of
oh.
big ungulate.
Okay, he's eating an ungulate.
Not yet, but it's
Cloud, me and you.
It's
Cloud.
nicely skinned and gutted. Just the whole thing is spitted over the fire.
Me and you, Cloud, we walk over there. We sneak over there stealthily. We pick it up stealthily so that he doesn't really hear us, and then we walk away with it. And then we all gather around behind him and just waylay on him. And then he goes to reach for his axe, and he's like, "Where's my fucking axe?"
Yeah.
And then we just keep beating on him. How about it? How's that for a plan? You okay with that, Cloud? You want to help me carry this thing? Or maybe Far Eye. Could Far Eye help me? I know he's got some strength. He's got some strength.
Yeah, even Warvel.
Warvel, how strong
Goblin?
are you? The goblins aren't notoriously strong.
Oh,
Warvel,
that's true.
how strong are you, Warvel?
I don't know. I'm a dwarf. I could look. I could look.
I could look.
Yeah. He would. Yeah. I don't know. I think he's got like about a 13, 14 around there.
Oh, I have even a better idea. I turn Warvel into a giant fucking snake, and he just sneaks up there since he's already got his stealth on and he's got the thing on, and that way he'll be huge and strong. He could pick it up and sneak away with it as he just curls around the handle and lifts it up as a giant constrictor snake. Warble. They are huge as well.
Okay, yeah, he probably could. Well, I don't know. I don't think he can do it very quietly because honestly, he's a snake, right?
Yeah, snakes are notoriously quiet.
Yeah, but not when they're dragging an axe with them.
Well,
especially because I don't think he could just coil around the haft and then crawl away. He'd have to like drag it in his mouth or something, and
He could swallow it.
Or he could.
he kind of looks at you twice when you say that.
Has everyone forgotten what happened last time he was a giant snake? Has everyone forgotten that already? I mean, he kept the giant's arms pinned down and crushed him. If he did that again, wrap himself around the arms of a giant, and we could waylay at the giant.
Yeah, I just don't want him to be able to grab his axe. Those things hurt.
Well, if he's wrapped around the giant's arm, the giant really can't grab the axe, can he?
How close is it to the giant?
How close do you want it to be?
I'm farther than his reach.
Oh yeah, it would be because again, he's huge in reach and
I'm saying it could be 10 feet away, but he is probably he can just reach it.
Are there some big stones or some boulders?
Oh yeah,
our size.
Oh, for sure.
That we could probably maybe roll one or two on top of it.
Because like I said, picture a nice little cozy campsite in a gully, right? Yeah. But now blow this gully up to giant size proportion.
Because we could probably hide it with the boulders and pin it down, which would delay them.
Like he's even sitting on a rock. So I mean, a rock that he's sitting on, that'd be like 4 feet high, right? So if you could imagine that, like he's camping in like a little gully, but it is a giant sized gully, like proportionate, right? So yeah, there's things for you guys to hide around. There's like surrounded by hills and bushes, so you got like a nice little area, and he's got the center and the general fire, and like where the hill is, like just there's like kind of a boulder half sticking out of the hill, and he's got his axe this dragon skull and a sack there, and he's just by the fire, sitting on a rock, kind of poking at a log, and throws a branch on, and sparks fly up, and you could kind of hear him humming or singing to himself.
Oh,
Silence.
she'll be coming down the
Yep.
mountain when she comes.
The music, the song that he's singing, at first you almost think of it as like it's like a tuneless humming, right? Almost. And then you realize that it does have melody and rhythm. And as you guys go on, and like it's almost like it's just, he's, like I said, he's just kind of humming, singing to himself. So it's almost subsonic. You almost feel it more than you hear it, and you're starting to experience the musicality of it.
He's good at
Like
singing tunes.
Yeah, like it's something you've never heard. Like clearly, whatever it is, it's a giant something, right? It's something.
He may be mystically chanting. Like holding up an illusion. Like he's not actually there at the fire. This is a trap he has set to get people. Matter of fact, let's do that, Carl. No, I'll do it. I want to touch myself and grant myself advantage on stealth, and I want to do a ring around this gully.
Okay.
To see if there's anything else outside the firelight, to see what else is surrounding this gully. Besides the obvious, look at this. I want to look at what's not that.
Honestly, you look around, and you're stealth, you're quiet, you're whatever. You go in. No, it seems to be. In fact, you could even see where like I said, like there's not a whole lot of like trees around here, so you could even see where his footprints, where he was probably like, oh yeah, I'll camp here, and you could see where he was going around collecting wood and deadfall, right? So you could see that, and then because like it's mucky here, and you could see like, oh yeah, I can totally see where there is an old tree laying there, and he pulled it out and carried it over here, and then he went. There's that copse of trees like 200 yards away. You could tell he was over there and came back. Hell, you could even see where he dropped a couple branches. Like just.
Garl would look down at his bag on the side, and he's going to look at the try to look at the axe, the giant's axe, as best as he can. And he's going to contemplate whether or not he thinks he could fit that axe in his bag of holding.
I'll say no.
Okay.
We could get the half though, right?
I would say the half, yeah, but yeah, there's no way you could get the axe head over it. It's more than 2 feet.
Okay. Well, that's why I was playing that, Garl looking at this as possibilities to try to solve some of the issues, but he say, nah, that ain't gonna work. No.
You can see there's a point where he turns the thing, like the carcass on the spit, flips it over, cook the other side, and you can hear like the spattering and smoking of fat as it hits the hot coals. Wafts over to you. Fresh wood cooked barbecue, best ever. Oh, that's if I had to pick a favorite meal. Like if I was on death row, the like last meal, I'd say like get me like the biggest fucking ribeye and cook it on a wood fire to medium rare. Salt, pepper, garlic. Period.
I think if I was in that situation, I tell him I want smoked shadow dragon tenderloin, and I'll wait here till you find it.
I want a cake with a saw in it. I love watching those YouTube videos about last meals and shit like that. It's funny.
So
how about we just stop screwing around? We just sneak up right behind it. Everybody get into position, and then like on the somebody says "whoa," and we go kill them. How about that? We just fuck all this planning. It never
No one
worked.
here am I suggesting about the werewolf and the snake.
Oh yeah, we'll do the werewolf and the snake thing.
So werewolf becomes a giant snake, wraps himself around a giant so he can't grab.
So he's restrained. Yeah. And yeah, we just beat the fuck out of him. Okay. Everybody get in position.
Okay. Once again,
His giant. Okay.
Once again, when you polymorph Warvel, you can see that like he gets that his crossed hand axe pattern down his back again. So you guys, does that mean you guys are ready to roll initiative, or?
I guess I'd say that Garl would move up within 90 feet of him.
Aye.
So he can cast Hunter's Mark on the little booger.
Okay.
But initiative.
Yeah, let's get initiatives here.
Let's stop dragging tail here. We have a mighty bloodbath to do.
Okay.
Oh.
Whether it's his or ours, either way, it's mighty. Okay. Garl's initiative is, if you're ready.
Yep.
17.
Okay.
Oh.
What, Michael? What are you at?
20.
Nice. Okay.
Suck it, Garl.
Ah!
Silence.
I've got 11.
That was
Okay.
my 4th level spell slot. Gone again.
And Cloud, you got one?
Cloud is in the clouds.
You're muted, Cloud. If you.
I think we've lost Cloud to the clouds.
I hope not. That's our drone. We'll be no eyes in the sky without our drone.
Of course, he went straight to drone.
Yeah, I saw somewhere in where is that? In Italy, people are they're using drones to deliver prescriptions.
Are they? Oh, that's
cool.
That's handy.
And then there was one here. No, it was actually in like San Fran, wasn't it? Where that guy delivered toilet paper, roll of toilet paper to his friend on a drone.
That had to be something we've seen going in there.
And then there was one here in Canada where a guy and his buddy, they were having beers, but the one guy was like sending the beers across the street on a remote control car.
That's a front.
They're each sitting on their front steps, you know, like across the street from one another. Yeah. And the guy was like, send another beer over to his buddy.
Yeah. That's a friend.
Yep.
Cloud, you about? I guess not.
Well, we'll start
Cloud.
and get him in when
Yep.
because I know often he's doing something else at the same time, I think. Okay, so far it's gonna go Michael, Garl, Warvel, Silence, and then the others. So let's begin this with Sir Nicodemus.
Alright.
You guys can all get yourself into position, so don't ask me how far away he is, because
Yeah,
I don't know where you
alright.
guys set yourself up.
You
Okay.
are wherever you want to be. All right. I want to be behind him, up on the.
Yep.
The like
Yep.
the or whatever of the gully.
Yes, yeah, absolutely
Kind of
you
behind
can.
a rock, or at least crouch behind a rock when I start, and
Yep.
kind of out of his reach. I want to be out of his reach.
Oh yeah, you are.
And
Like how far away?
I'd like to be. Let me see here. 60 feet.
Yeah.
But I can still see him because of the fire. So.
Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely you can. In fact, because like this isn't just a normal campfire either, right? Instead of being like whatever it is, like 20 and 20, it's like, at least double it.
Yeah, and that's
Oh.
Yeah, so 6 feet would keep me out of the dim light area.
Yeah, especially because like it is a gully, right? So that's the whole point, is that the hill, like the low part, so that the light doesn't go everywhere, right? So that the gully is all lit up light, or lit up bright. And you can easily like move yourself 60 feet away. You could see him.
He can't see me. And
No,
I want to be behind a rock.
Yeah.
But I want to
then you
blast.
could totally have like a cover and concealment behind a rock.
Would I have advantage?
Well, yeah, because and technically you guys are going to get a surprise round. Like there's no way you guys really couldn't.
I'll get a 19 to hit him with a an arrow. The not a regular arrow, but the what's that called? Radiant arrow? No, guiding bolt.
Guiding bolt? Is that with advantage for like being hidden or being like? Yeah, because he can't see. It is with advantage?
Yeah, I got a 19 total to hit him.
It hits the back of his armor and ricochets off harmlessly, alerting him. He's like kind of, what? Like you hear him kind of roar, and he's okay, but yeah. It's a miss, Michael.
Oh, brilliant.
His armor protected him.
That's some hellacious armor. Okay. Yeah, so never mind. It just bounced.
But you guys can see the guiding bolt just glance off this armor harmlessly.
Yeah, and I'm just going to duck and take cover behind my rock.
Garl,
90 feet away, is casting a hunter's mark on him, and then shooting.
Okay.
Quickly.
You two can have advantage.
And first one will miss widely with a 15. And the second one, ooh, that may hit. That's a +7 to it, so that's the 22.
That one manages to hit.
All right, baby, you're mine. You mine. There we get.
So with advantage, don't forget like your sneak attack. Yep. Don't forget. Oh, I guess you didn't use sharpshooter. Don't forget your hunter's mark, and your sneak attack.
Yep, hunter's mark is D6. My Gloomstalker's on first attack is a D8. 2D6 there. D6, and then a D6 for the bow. All right. Big numbers. Come on, Bubba. Oh,
no whammy.
That sucked. 10, 15, 16 plus 3, 19 points of damage.
Okay, this arrow sinks in. You guys can, Michael, you're kind of like, oh, and then suddenly you see this arrow come streaking in. You could tell, well, at least Garl's arrow hit him. And you hear like a, not quite a scream, but like a gasp as you could see him flinch from the side that he was struck upon. Anything else you'd like to do, Garl?
Yes, Garl will go ahead. Since
Second arrow.
I can't. I only got I did my 2 arrows.
Yeah, and then don't you have that Gloomstalker thing where you get an extra one?
That's my second one.
Oh, that was? Oh, okay.
Yeah. But what I'm going to do is use my movement so I can move 35 feet because I get 10 extra feet with the Gloomstalker over to a nice boulder that's about 35 feet away from me, from where he might suspect the arrow came from. And get by the boulder. And then for a free action, I'm going to holler out that the defenders of Brashander shall smite you dead, evil one.
Okay.
And that kills me.
And you can see it appears that he's like, going to be standing up. And actually it is his go. And he stands up, and you see him stride over. He just steps over the rock that he was sitting on. And you can hear like his armor clank as he's kind of scanning around the horizon, but you guys are far enough away and in the dark and over the hill, and you guys are covered. Right? Like, and he's going for his stuff, but I forgot it's not his goal. But he's gonna be. So he's standing up over the rock, right?
Yeah.
Just picture, because D&D, it's hard. I'm gonna explain this for the benefit of silence too.
Yeah.
Okay.
When you're playing D&D, there's basically 2 different modes, right? So have you ever played Final Fantasy?
Nope.
Basically, Final Fantasy, there's 2 modes. You're moving around on a map, and then it has like a combat mode, right? It zooms in.
Uh-huh.
And each guy does his thing in turn. So when we do a round, that's 6 seconds. There's 10 of those in a minute. So when everybody takes their turn, it's not like Michael is 6 seconds and then Garl's 6 seconds, so on and so forth. It's all happening in the same 6 seconds. So things are happening simultaneously, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, right? In a weird movie way.
It's just which things are educated first.
Right. So that's why, like, what I say still kind of stands, because stuff is happening all at the same time, right? Michael's guiding bolt comes in at the same time as the arrow strikes, and that he is standing up and running over to his stuff. It's not quite his go yet, but it's still valid, right?
Yeah.
And that was kind of it. That was just my spiel. That all the turns, although we take them in sequence because, well, we're linear. We're playing a linear game, but it is happening simultaneously. So it is kind of hard sometimes for the mind to wrap around, but that is the way it is. Warhol comes over the hill. He's not going to be able to, like, surprise, but he comes. What's the movement of the snake?
60.
Oh yeah, he can easily move in.
But repeat, 30. Sorry,
Oh.
correct. He's 60 feet long.
Warvel comes in across the fire. He puts the fire in because, yeah, he could either dash and be right there, which isn't really great. Or he could move in and, yeah, he's going to do that. He's going to move. He comes over the hill. Of course, the giant totally sees him, but he's opposite the fire, right? And the stuff. So, for sure, the giant sees him, but so Warvel is done. In fact, Warvel's gonna move in and dodge. No, Warvel's gonna move in and take a readied action, and if it comes towards him, he's gonna.
Oh, yeah, that's even better.
Yeah. That's what he's gonna do. Now, Silence, your go.
Mm-hmm.
What are you
Okay,
gonna
I'm going to cast Dissonant Whispers to really confuse him. I mean, it's dark, suddenly he gets attacked, and there's whispers everywhere. So I'll do that.
The snake is hissing, the fire is crackling, and the snake is hissing because it's huge, so it's like it would be like my 2.5-year-old says, it's so loud.
Yep.
T-Rex. Yeah. T-Rex stomp. Yeah. T-Rex stomp. Roar! Yeah. T-Rex roar. He's so loud. He's so big. How big is he? He's as big as a bus.
Yeah. They're sweet when they're that little.
I can't believe it.
Yeah.
Like I said, he could say like Quetzalcoatlus and Diplodocus and Brachiosaur, but he still just points and screams if he wants something. It's like, come on. You talk all the time. You talk all the time when it's yeah, well, I said that to him the other day. I said, use your words. Just the look on his face as he was really thinking. He's like, hey, you could see him running through the Rolodex, right? Like, what word is that?
You're lucky he didn't turn around and say, I don't want you.
Well, his
need
big
words for that.
His big thing right now is no, don't touch. Right? Like, even if you're like, oh, what's this dinosaur? He's, no, don't touch. That's my dinosaur. Right? Or whatever.
Yeah.
No, don't touch. So I just attack him. I'm like, no, don't touch me. Don't touch me. Don't touch the baby. And I tickle the shit out of him. Don't touch the baby. And then he's like giving me dinosaurs after. Anyways, I'm sorry.
Where were we?
You were casting the spell, and I was going to make a saving throw.
Yes, it's a wisdom saving throw.
He fails.
Okay. Where was it? On a failed save, it takes 3d6 psychic damage and must immediately use its reaction. So, 3d6.
Roll your damage.
5, 4, and 5. So
14.
14.
Yeah, I gotta check my monster here. So it says his damage is adding up. And I'm slow, but I don't care. Fuck, what else are we gonna do? Hey, where did they put him? Ooh. Okay, yeah. I was just Okay, yeah, you do 14 damage to him, and he kind of staggers with his hands over his ears, but he does. Is that all he does? Is lose his reaction? I already forgot because
Yes, yeah, and immediately use his
Run away.
reaction.
Yeah. Okay. But he does go over to his like. He sees a snake, right? So he kind of goes over and he picks up that dragon skull, slaps it on his head, and the face of the dragon drops down and it like covers his face. But the wicked horns of this dragon. I'm not even gonna make you guys roll. You can tell that it's like just by the pattern of the horns, you can tell it's probably a white dragon.
All right.
And he grabs his axe with one hand. He swings it up, and it is like a huge-sized, double-bladed great axe, and you could see that. Those aren't like jagged edges like you're used to seeing on many giant weapons. Those are actually like serrations that are manufactured into the blade of the axe. And you hear him shout in a very respectable common. Show yourself! I mean no harm! And he's like really watching the snake. Like that's the only thing he sees. But if it's not gonna approach him, it doesn't look like he's taking it looks like he's taking a dodge action.
Okay. It is probably a my turn thing. But I want
And then goes the gall. You see just this little arrow, just wide miss. And that would be it.
Do I believe him? Can I insight check? Or do I have to wait for my turn?
Let's put it this way, Cloud, even I wherever Cloud would be, I almost think that would make Cloud balk. Right? Like I think Cloud would wait anyways after this. I think that would be I think that's normally how Cloud would play it. Well, I'll see what happens, especially with something like that. So yeah, go top of the round, Michael. Nicodemus.
Okay. I would like to I like seriously, like if that's my action, that's my action. Before I continue on. I wanna like
How are you what like that's what he says.
I can't see his tone of voice since I'm assuming says I can't see his face. Like, does he seem legit? If so, I'll present my.
I'll give you the fact. I'll reiterate. Say it looks like he's taking a dodge action, and he hasn't moved like even towards the snake, but he's looking to the left and the right and behind, kind of like, but trying to keep his eye on the snake. But I mean, like he's been hit by an arrow. He had a spell cast at him. Like he knows he's under attack.
Okay, I'll present myself so you can see, like, hey, and step out from behind my rock, maybe a little closer.
Yeah,
to the
you see him like turn to your direction.
If you mean no harm, I mean no harm. And read his body language.
Yeah, well, he says, I mean no harm.
What are you doing here? This far south.
You see he says, who are you?
All right. Glad you asked. As my case was using a bonus action. I am Nicodemus.
Is
Cleric
this snake
in the
dangerous?
pocket. Huh?
Is this snake dangerous?
He's a friend of mine, an ally of mine. So as long as you promise not to harm him or us, then he will not harm you. I'm Nicodemus, cleric and priest of Bacchus, defender of Bryn Shander, slayer of the frost giant Queen Trophy, repeller of frost giant invasions in Fireshear and Azotol Keep, and negotiator of truces between Waterdeep and Cloud Giants, a friend of oh god, what was that Cloud Giant's name? Zachariah, Zara,
I think.
of some Z Frost Giant. No, a Z Cloud Giant. Friend of him. And I have also just recently repelled Hill Giant invasion from Golden Gulp and the Golden Fields. We're on a quest to bring a treaty negotiation from Golden Fields to the Hill Giants when we met up with the Dragon Vex, who told us he saw you roaming these lands. And actually, we assumed as a Frost Giant and our other dealings with Frost Giants that you were out to rampage and pillage. If that is not so, then forgive us for the wounds, and I shall cure you. The ills we've done.
He shouts. Well, actually, he reaches up with one hand and he pulls his helmet off. And he pulls his helmet off.
Okay.
And you can see, like, you know, like, you guys is actually kind of chilly. He's actually, you can tell, like, how his forehead is sweating, eh? And his hair's already sweaty from just that brief moment of exertion and having the helmet on.
Out of shape, are we, buddy?
And he says, you're giving me far more information than I can process like this. Why don't you and your companions, I assume, I don't think you're alone. He said, but why don't you all show yourselves? My name's Harsnag.
Harzag, I will show myself, and I will
Harsnag.
And
I'm going to give Silence the opportunity to roll me either an intelligence history
Or
just generally a knowledge, like an intelligence. So either if you don't have history, then just add your jack of all trades and your intelligence instead of intelligence proficiency.
Good. I'm just thinking, would this count under lore?
Yeah.
Because I did come from the College of Law.
You are College of Lore. Okay. That was actually a question I was going to ask you. Actually, I did ask you in the chat, in the messenger group. But anyways. Okay. What is this lore? I don't even know myself. Because that's I wanted to be able to research what kind of bard you were, so I kind of knew what you were doing.
Hang on. Had it written down, but for some reason it's not on my cards. Okay, bards of the College of Law know something about most things, collecting bits of knowledge from sources as diverse as scholarly tomes and peasant tales.
And puppy dog tails.
Yeah.
Hey, so add your intelligence, add your proficiency bonus, and roll die 20. In fact, I'll give you advantage because you're from Waterdeep.
Oh, this could be related lore.
Is someone cutting carrots?
Sounds like onion.
Cucumber.
Oh, cucumber. Okay, that was my second guess, Michael.
Okay, I got 18.
Tomatoes.
18.
Yeah.
With an 18, I'll say you know, because it's not that hard if you're from Waterdeep. But the thing is, it's almost like a Bigfoot encounter. It's something you heard, but you almost didn't think really existed. You just thought it was like a. I mean, it's water deep, right? So things just get blown out of proportion.
Yo, Bigfoot's real, bro.
Now, for those who follow the critical role,
I do not.
well, who know anything about it,
I know something.
he introduced himself. He says he's Harshnag is from the adventuring party Force Grey.
I've heard of them.
They have been heroes in Waterdeep, but they've also caused a lot of destruction. After all, because they are adventurers, right? So they just end up fireballing things, and right? You know what I mean? Like, so he's infamous to some, famous to most, legendary. But that was the thing. You almost thought like it was like a bullshit story, right? Because you know how things get blown in proportion. But everyone's heard of Force Grey, especially from Waterdeep. You're like, oh yeah, like whatever. It's sometimes allegedly the lady hires them, and then it's like, well, no, she doesn't hire them. They're actually like wanted by the Lord's Alliance. Well, that's not true. I actually heard that like Force Grey, like, they're all dead now. And it's like, well, no, and I heard that, my uncle's brother said that he knew the guy who started Force Grey, but, and one of them, and, he's a giant, and yeah. That's
giant.
Harshnag. And he just that name, when he shouts Harshnag, you're like, Harshnag? What's that? And you're like, Harshnag?
Some of it we almost
heard the name.
Like you put the two and two together in your brain. And that's Michael, so you kind of walk to the edge of the ridge into the light.
I'll start to climb down the ridge into the light.
And he says, you spoke of the giants? You know what's going on?
Well, a bit. I mean, what do you know? As a giant, weren't you bound by the ordning?
Well, I think that's what made me different.
Were you once bound by the ordning?
He says, I didn't feel it the same way, allegedly, the others do. He says, even now, and he kind of motions with his hand as he goes over, sits down on his rock, and turns the carcass a bit. He puts his axe down, you see it crunch into the gravel. Michael, when you get a close look at it, that's a nice axe.
That would have hurt, right?
Pardon me?
That would have hurt.
Oh, yeah, but okay, yeah, it would have hurt for sure. But there are like carvings and runes on it.
Yeah, I'll give it a side eye. This is as I'm approaching him.
Yeah, it's
quick glance one over.
It actually looks like it's like oh shit, I can't remember. I'll look at the description. Where is it? I'll tell you the description.
But we have heard that the ordning was broken by the frost giant god Aiden because he was disappointed in your all's reaction as a group to the Yes. Oh, that hurt.
Cut yourself?
No, the cat. Cat scratched me.
Ah!
The cat was, I'm sitting in a chair and the cat reached up with its claws and scraped my side because he felt like it. He wanted attention. And you really got me that hurt.
Yes.
Okay.
That
But
means the cat really likes you. They
Why
want
not?
your attention.
Yeah, you probably wanted to know what I was doing. Like, hey, can I eat that? Like, no, you can't eat this. This is salad. You wouldn't like salad. And you wouldn't know that. Yeah, we heard that the
300. The axe weighs 325 pounds.
Oh yeah, I probably.
It
couldn't.
says it right in it. Yeah. It has depictions of giant slaying humans or men,
Oh.
anyways.
Cool.
So
it doesn't bother you at all, Rorks, that I slew the frost giant Troopy?
He's like.
She was attacking, a city.
He kind of motions around. Are the rest of you coming into the light to the camp?
Yeah, might as well.
Carl
Okay.
is
In concentration, by the way.
And he says, well, let me introduce myself formally. He goes, I'm Harshnag, formerly of the adventuring party, Forest Grey.
Carl's jumping out from the rock that he was by with his arrow and bow ready and ready action that if he does something that looks like it's going to do harm to Nicodemus or Silence or our snake, he's going to go ahead and shoot. But
okay.
Yeah, he's just taking up basically a protection stance or covering his friends until he knows what's going on. For sure,
okay.
in his mind.
He says, welcome. He's like,
the cat's back.
Even what you would call it, Warvel will turn back to human, or to a dwarf.
Okay, that's my concentration thing. If he like looks like
because and he says, I've been he says like a few months ago when the ordnance broke, he's like I said, I felt it, but not to the same extent. He says, he says if one of the giants higher on the ordning were to threaten my friends, he's like, I've got no problem. He's like, I never have. He says, that's always what's made me different. He says, I don't never.
You've always had free will more so than the others.
Yeah, and whether it was something different about me or just the fact that I just chose to. He's like, I don't know. And he just shrugs. He's like, he says, but I always thought it was better to, while most giants want to get rid of the smaller races, he says, I always thought, well, live and let live. Like, who cares? Why can't we just all get along?
I feel you on that. I'm sorry that it was my prejudices that caused me to assume that, a frost giant roaming this area of the world was up to no good. My apologies. By the way, here, let me cure you. I'll give him a second level cure light wounds.
Oh.
As I get close to him.
He says, you don't have to, but thank you.
I'm kind of responsible for these wounds. Let me make it right by you. Watch this all be an elaborate trick that I just messed up on. That would only be 12 points of curing.
Okay.
Would you need more?
I'll be fine in the morning. Just a scratch. You can see, like, he's got, like, blood from the arrow, and the dissonant whispers, and the psychic damage. That would never be pleasant. Gotta tell you about one thing about this whole situation. I've been using my yoga ball to blow off stress. Boy, my back is nice and limber. I feel like a 19-year-old. Yeah, well, he thanks you. He thanks you for the healing, and he says, but like a few months ago, once this whole ordning ended, he's like, I noticed that there's just more and more of my kin were being more disruptive, right? Like, and he says, well, so he's like, I've actually been going around doing what I can. He says, he goes, but I've already, like, killed lots of my kin.
Sorry to hear that.
He shrugs. He says, it's their own greed and power struggle. You know, he says they all want to take advantage of this time to jockey themselves to get the upper hand now. And he says things are worse now, even.
So what's your current mission? What's your current quest? What are you doing? What are you hoping to accomplish in the next little bit?
And he sighs like I just did. He puts his, rests his forearms on his knees. Kind of shakes his head slowly, and you can see his hair dangles. And he says, I've been roaming around trying to do what I can, but I can't do it like that. He says, I was actually thinking of going up north, up to the spine of the world.
Well, I can assure you, your brethren are in good form up there. They are marauding and pillaging all over the place.
Well, he nods, and he says, well, I know of an ancient temple. And he says it with awe when he speaks of it. He says, of a great oracle created by Anon, the All-Father. And I was thinking of going there and using the oracle to find out what I can.
Seems like you could use some help on that quest.
He says, and he smiles when he says it, and he says, that's what I was contemplating about right before you guys attacked me, is how should I should find some like-minded people who know about what's going on. He says, I've been out here just interfering where I can, but I don't think it's amounted to much. He says, so, and he looks up and he says, I think it's well timed.
I think this is auspicious indeed.
And Far Eye kind of looks like really has like the attention of Far Eye right now.
He's
right?
really disappointed he can't kill something again.
No, Far Eye is really like whatever she's been contemplating about. This is like somehow feels connected.
Garl, after
got it.
Garl, after seeing a conversation carried on with no ill intent happening, he'll come striding in with his bow in hand, and he'll say, "Give me that back," talking to the giant for the arrow.
Oh, Harshnag kind of looks twice when you come out because he wasn't paying attention at all, so you almost slip out of nowhere. And he just, he's like, you can have it. I don't need it. And he'll like try to gently remove it out of his flesh and clothing and whatnot, and armor.
Yeah, he is sneaky.
Garl would be more than willing to help him remove it. He just in the back of Garl's mind, he's wishing, I should have some poison to put in that wound. But that's only what he's thinking. But he wants his arrow back if he can get it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay.
He'll like, you got the arrow back, and then he's gonna like also take the spit off the fire and place it on a flat rock. And he says, "You're welcome to food." He says, "I'm gonna wait for it to cool off," and he kind of smiles, a little bit of a chagrin.
You know, we did find it odd that you were cooking your food with a fire. That seems highly unfrost giant-like.
It is. It's too hot. I can't eat it like that. He says, I have to let it cool down. But he says, it does taste much better when it's cooked. It is. It is much better when it's cooked.
Okay. I agree. And I'll help myself to a...
I learned that from my friends.
Okay. You know, anyhow, the cloud giant
Zephyros. Yeah.
A cloud giant noble told us that he had a vision that we were to play an instrumental part in the fixing of this problem caused by Adon breaking the ordinance. Now,
really?
Yes. And if you wish to fully take part in this, and I believe that you are a powerful... I've never missed with that golden arrow before. That's what I took Trufi down with, and it just glanced off you, so you are truly a powerful human being. So I believe that we could aid each other and head up north and find this temple and bring order, some semblance of order that would cause this war between our races to stop. That's all I want. I want it to stop. I don't want to kill giants. I don't want to kill little people. I just want them to stop fighting. And maybe by finding this temple and aiding you, you could aid us also in ending this conflict. I propose an alliance between us, but first, we have already obligated ourselves to the people of Golden Fields to try to seek out truce with the hill giants, with the great god Bacchus, the brewer of such fine ale. Here, would you like some? And I'll pour a gallon into it. Does he got a mug or anything around?
Oh, yeah. He goes to his sack.
All right. You got a cup? All right. I'll pour a gallon of my ale from there.
Yeah, he's got like a nice giant-sized tankard.
Okay. I mean, that should at least fill his tankard up, however much to fill his tankard up.
Oh, yeah, I would say a gallon. I really would. Because, again.
Right. There you go. Together, the great god Bacchus has told me, however, that no peace will last with the hill giants as long as they fear the great Gaul. And so we're off to see what we can do to remove her influence from the hill giants. Perhaps that may wind up, being her defeat and killing. I don't know. But that's what we're on the court to do. If you would help us with this, then we will assuredly help you on your quest to the temple, which is probably part of our quest as well. And what do you know of God? Do you know anything of God?
He says,
Garl will cry out, "How could you do that to Horatio?" Barbecue him.
Like I said, he is a giant. He is like, whatever, 22 feet tall or whatever.
How is the antelope anyway? Is it tasty?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, not an antelope. Like I said, it's like a caribou or an elk or something to that effect. It was like, would have been 500 pounds when it was alive, right?
Man, I saw an elk at the Grand Canyon.
Mm-hmm.
I think freaking huge, man.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it was easily taller than me at the shoulder.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. And then you should see a moose.
Things are fucking huge.
Like, never, like, you do not want to have hit a moose with your vehicle, right?
It would kill the vehicle.
Yeah, like you die if you hit a moose. Like, because another thing too about moose is that they're so tall that you just trip them and they take out their legs and just crush your car. And then they just get up and run away. Like, they're massive. Like, they're ridiculous how big. And like I said, again, I'm in Western Canada, like pretty high up north. There's fucking big fucking moose. And moose are kind of more common now in a weird way. You never used to see moose near highways. And yet, all the time now, people are hitting them. Like, moose used to be, like, way more...
Woods?
Yeah, well, what's the term? Like, just more, like... They just, if there's people around, they don't go there. Right? Like, they just didn't, Like, deer, you see deer everywhere. Like, we have... Like, I live in town. We have... In the wintertime, we have deer on our street in the morning. First thing, crack of dawn, there's deer outside somewhere on our street. They just are. But anyways, it's a big ungulate. It's probably not even like really, really cooked, right? But the outside, there's places you guys can easily slice off and eat, and it's all skinned and cooked and gutted and done properly. It's not like a hill giant would just smash it with a rock to crush the bones and then eat it, right? Suck the blood out of it and eat it. He says, I only know, he says, I've heard of this god that, yeah, she wants to be the biggest. She thinks that that's going to win her the top of the ordinary. And he says, I've heard that the fire giants are trying to build a war machine that was used against the war against the dragons. They're trying to rebuild it. So basically, think Statue of Liberty or Spaceballs, right? Like, but a war machine, or that's the statue of Jesus that overlooks Brazil, the city in Brazil, eh?
There's a 180-foot tall statue of Jesus in
Yeah.
Oklahoma.
Oh, there is one in Oklahoma too?
Yeah. Oral Roberts, 180 feet tall.
Oh, yeah, because there's that one in Brazil.
Yeah. Can't remember where it's at.
Yeah. And it overlooks the city. It's just bizarre, eh? Like, just
fucking giant.
I don't care if it rains or freezes as long as I got my plastic Jesus. What the hell's that from now? Oh, shit. I love that. That's what it reminds me of. It's just a giant dashboard Jesus. Hey, he says He says there are too many giants trying to do their own thing. He says the way it was, like the storm giants were on top, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, and then even out of all the storm giants, there was a reigning king. So you could say that there was a king of all the giants. And I found out that before this even happened, he disappeared. King Hecaton is his name. The king of the storm giants. And
Have you heard of any rumors of where he might be hiding or being kept hidden?
Let me refer.
Should I put onion in the salad? At the moment, I have lettuce, tomatoes, cucumbers, carrots, radishes,
Yeah,
mushrooms,
you almost need onion.
and green pepper.
Yeah, with the tomato, cucumber, and yeah,
Salt,
you
pepper,
totally need
parmesan.
onion. Yeah.
Okay.
Ugh.
Oh, I have cheese to put on it too. I'll put parmesan on it. But yeah, the point is, I'm trying to make an alliance with him. To him hate us, us hate him. Does it seem to be working? Like, so we have a frost giant on our side. Not only a frost giant, but a badass frost giant.
Yeah.
Because I'm guessing he's better than your average frost giant.
I want to know what he knows.
Okay. Me too, buddy. Me too.
Harshnag the Grim. Yeah, notoriously destructive adventuring party.
I mean, he is a frost giant. I mean, hello. I mean, if you want a light touch, you don't hire the people who have a frost giant with them. Just saying.
What was your question?
I was asking him what he knows about Gaul.
Oh,
And will he aid us? And also, does he know where the Storm King is? And if so, do you think, could we help you with that? Should we get him first before going to the temple? I don't know, a whole bunch of shit.
He says, that's why I'm heading up north. He says, all I know is that King Hecaton has disappeared. He says, I have heard of this god, but he says there's everywhere there are giants with plans. He says, what?
Is God giant?
Yeah, he assumes that by the sounds of it, she's a female hill giant, and she wants to just get to be the biggest giant as possible.
Okay.
That's her goal.
Okay. I mean, we did promise the people of Golden Fields that we would try to help end this first. So, I mean, it is on our plate. We are kind of required to do this at the moment.
Well,
Carl would say, well, if God is the one causing our problems and she's trying to be the biggest, maybe we can weave both of them in there and still be in the spirit of what we promised. Because if we're going to talk to the hill giants, we got to talk to the biggest hill giant to make the treaty.
So what are you recommending, that we just skip Gaul and head north with Rorschach here in order to
The War Shack.
Prince. I'm horrible with names. To stop this whole giant apocalypse. And, we'd be honoring our pledge to help stop the hill giants by stopping the giant apocalypse in general, rather than God in particular.
That's
Well-
that's how he feels. He would rather get to the root of it. And he said, normally, they list the storm giants, and King Hecaton is like the king of storm giants. And he's like, I automatically thought, well, how come King Hecaton can't rein people in?
Well,
and then I found out he disappeared before this even happened. And he's like, I think got to find out what happened to Hecaton or something. And he goes, and I just don't even know where to begin. He says, I've been wandering around killing giants here and there, trying to help out. And he's like, I've been hoping to bump into some like-minded people. And he's like, because I want to go. He says, it lies in the valley of Kedron, in the spine of the world. Irrelevant kind of where it is, but it's up north. He says, but there's like a temple to it on the Allfather. It's Eye of the Allfather is what the temple's called. It's an oracle that we can ask questions. Pardon me?
You have run into like-minded individuals.
Garl will say
Small folk.
Yeah.
He says, but you're really like the first adventurers. He says, what small folk doesn't want the giants to not attack everyone or go nuts?
Hey, small folk, I killed Troopy. Did you not hear my lineage of everything that I have accomplished along with
I went to school with the Droofy. I wonder if it was the same one.
Garl will
Class of 74?
Yeah.
Garl will chuckle, and then he'll say that if we...
is this her eyeball? And I'll nudge Cloud.
I don't know, hard to tell.
They all look the same.
I'd have to see them in a face.
Are these Troopy's eyes? Alright, sorry.
Yeah, that's all right.
Garl will go ahead and say that we could be honoring the pledge that we gave to Goldenfields by going to the other giants and such on this task and gain them as allies and have the truce bartered there, and then have the strength of our allies when we go to Gog.
They won't barter with you, he says.
Has
Probably
anyone
not.
has anyone tried? And the silence is deafening.
Well,
Let us-
And Garl will say, "If you're not out nothing if you don't try."
Let us go over and discuss this for a moment. Pretty much, hey, what do we do? Do we skip out on the whole Hill Giant quest and follow this dude directly up to the spine of the world to the end?
Well, we never.
Do we warp to the end? Is what I'm saying. Do we warp to the end? I'm assuming. I don't know. Or
we never gave them a time frame that we would do it. Just that we would do
we
it.
did not.
So technically, we could warp all the way to the end and still have it finished. It's better to hit things at the root. That means nothing else can grow from it.
Yeah, he's got a point. I mean, we can just go and kill Hill Giants all day long. And,
yeah, and as the DM goes, yeah, you guys weren't necessarily pressed to go find and seek and destroy God. That was just something you guys got into your own head, right? Yeah. So, I'm just.
But we got ourselves where we're not going to be going against, say, a word or two of some of our members by helping others. We didn't tell them that in a week or a month we'd have that truce.
In fact, that's the thing, right? It's an oracle, and he says we could go there and ask questions, or and get answers to some of these questions. He says that's why I'm going to the oracle. He goes, I just don't even know where to begin. He says, I was gonna go talk to Hecaton or try to, or I knew of Hecaton, but then when I found out Hecaton was gone, it's like, well, I can't even, what I mean? Like, he would consult with him, but he's not around. So it's like, well, where's Hecaton? What's going on? How do we stop? Right, all this. He says, that's why I want to go speak to the Oracle and get some answers, some hard answers.
And Garo would say, if we go with them, we can ask the Oracle who we have to talk to get the truce between Golden Fields and the Giants solidified.
Right.
And we could always send word to Goldenfield via the sending spell of Far Eye that our mission for Gaw has led us into the Great White North.
Yes.
Yeah. So that way they'd know that instead of just like, oh, well, they'd have a heads up what's going on. We discovered that the only true way to end the Giants the Giant Menace is to go up and find Hecaton at the Oracle. Other than that, we'd have to, genocide the Hill Giants.
Because he says, I know exactly where the Oracle is. He says, he says it's not a totally forgotten place. He says, like, there are, like, it does still occasionally get usage, right? Like, because, well, it's an Oracle.
Okay. All right.
Right? Like,
Right.
it's not like there's monks or anything there, but
right,
he
says
it is a part of ancient Astoria, the ancient kingdom of the Giants that was like around 30,000 years ago, and it fell to war with the dragons. And he says, in fact, that's one of my biggest fears.
The dragons have it?
Is that the dragons are gonna somehow use this as an opportunity to, now with the Giants thrown into chaos, right? With the ordning and with King Hecaton around, that kind of gave somewhat structure and kept our ancient enemies at bay. But now, even with Hecaton gone and the ordning gone, he says we're ripe for the picking.
Garl,
and he says, which is no good for the small folk.
Garl will ask him.
No, neither is good.
What's the tribute that we have to give to the Oracle to get an answer? They usually cost.
None, as far as I know.
Sweet deal. Garl will say,
He says, I can take, like, he says, I know precisely where it is.
Okay. And there's no hope that you'll accompany us on our mission for Gaw first. Way we could level up, get some, equipment, maybe possibly a giant slaying sword or something. This was what I'm looking into, doing some minor quests first before we go. But,
He says, ask the Oracle where there's a giant slaying sword.
All right. So I vote we go with Rorschach here directly up to the Oracle. What say you, Gnarl?
Carl will look at Rorschach and try to make out if it's a bird or a bat that's on his armor, their design, and then he'll say,
"Good reference, like
one for all and all for one. We go as a team, or we don't go at all."
All right. So is he part of the team?
Well,
he beams. And he said like that's exactly what he's been looking for, some like-minded people. And he's like to run into you guys, and for Zephyros to say that he's pretty sure that it was destiny. He's
Silent Foot said you. Do we go to go immediately to face Gaw, or do we accompany Rorschach up to the
He wants to go to the Oracle, though. Yeah, the Oracle is his he totally thinks, because I don't know, but it kind of is irrelevant because it's D&D. We can just time frame
What do you
travel.
say? Do we head up north with the Rorschach to the Orc, or do we go immediately to deal with Gaw?
I say we go with Rorschach.
Mm-hmm. Is it unanimous, Cloud, or?
I think he just left.
Okay.
There, he's back. He must be stuck on mute.
No, I put him up in the waiting room and then had him bring mine back. I was hoping to put a ding over on his side to
Oh, I get it.
try to get his attention if something's going on that way. That's all. My bad. I don't think it worked.
No.
But
I
say we go.
You know he's pretty neutral, the druid.
Yep.
So yeah, all right. Well, Rorschach, we have taken a poll, and if you will accept our company, we will go with you and aid you in this quest, and protect your steps and up to the Great White North, the Oracle of the Giants. Oh, and just FYI, you might want to know that the Bronze Dragon, Vex, is sent us on your trail. And he didn't say you were bad or anything. He just told us that, hey, there's a frost giant walking around with a badass battle axe and a white dragon skull. So naturally, we assumed you were up to no good because our previous engagements with frost giants have involved, marauding, pillaging, sort of thing.
And when you say that, Garl will say, "Oh yeah, yeah, yeah," and we saw a large party, signs of a large party, paralleling your trail, bisecting it, and such. So, we think it may be some barbarians. If you don't have some barbarians after you, do you?
He says, not specifically. He says, but yeah, those Uthgar barbarians generally aren't very friendly towards my kind. But he says, I've got my axe.
But Garl,
but you guys kind of look over emotions. By this time, his axe is actually glowing.
Okay.
But it's like gotten later, and like the air is cooled off and stuff, and it's like glowing dim light.
But Garl, now that this Rorschach is kind of part of the party, he figured he might as well give him the heads up on the barbarians.
He says, no, he doesn't. It's irrelevant. Okay, so Harshnag is happy. He has a look of satisfaction that, like you said, he was wandering around trying to figure out what to do, and he's like, oh, I should go to the Oracle, but maybe I should find someone. I don't know what to do. And he's kind of, and then he meets you guys. You guys tell him that you were told that you're going to play a part. So he's very accepting of the fact of traveling with you guys. He will tell about some of the exploits. Silence, you kind of know some, and Adio comes out like and you're from Waterdeep, and I'm a bard, and so of course you're gonna be playing music for him, for everyone. It's ends up being like like a quite comfortable night, especially for those who do have exhaustion. It's nice to know that, like, there wasn't a big fight, and there wasn't, anything to really have to worry about, and a nice frost giant. Well, that's different. he talks quite a bit about Waterdeep with you, Silence, when you get a chance, or because he considers Waterdeep. If he had a home, he would almost consider it Waterdeep. He and his adventuring party, he tells you about some exploits that they have done and blah blah blah, whatever. But and it just confirms for you that the stories that you heard, actually are true, or the way that they really happen. Because there's a point where you're like, oh, so you blah blah, and he's like, no, I'll tell you the way it actually happened, right? Whatever. So you guys are able to get the benefits of a long rest, and as well, you may level up to level 8.
Sweet.
No
deal.
way.
Oh, finally.
Sweet deal.
That's it. I'm taking the feat.
That
I'm taking Warcaster. And no longer will be known as the Inner Beast. Choose feat. Let's go to the bottom since I'm assuming Warcaster will be down there. Ooh, what's Wood Elf Magic? And why is Warcaster not on here?
on what?
This app.
Oh, I don't know.
Okay, there it is.
You
It's
got to
just-
be Wood Elf Magic is a prerequisite to be a Wood Elf.
I know, but that's what I use as my template. My character is a Wood Elf in
Oh,
everything.
okay.
I'm a Wood Elf. I think he did give me, like, I got rid of trance and got, like, brewing, and I got rid of dark vision and got musical instrument. Other than that, I've just used the Wood Elf stat block for my race. But no, I'm going with Warcaster. Advantage on concentration checks, and so now I can polymorph myself into the great raging drunk satyr beast.
Cool.
Dragon hide, dragon fever, dragon fear. Are these like dragonborn traits or something?
You have to be Dragonborn though.
Okay.
That's the prerequisite.
Ooh, Fey teleport. Said I
Have to
can't.
be. Yeah, I would let you have that because you basically are an elf. So
Yeah, well, I mean, I have my thing says Wood Elf.
Yeah.
On the thing, and so it says I can take Wood Elf magic. It just
Yeah.
says I can't take Fey transport, Fey teleport. Can't take Fade away either. Some of these are like redded. I get Dark Elf magic because I'm not a Dark Elf. But yeah, okay. And then hit points, average D8 hit dice 5. That's fine. Apply. Ooh, I got 51 hit points now. Oh, are we long resting? I'm assuming we're long resting.
Yeah, long rest. Yes, indeed. Yes.
Okay, and I get my Constitution save bonus, which is never mind. I don't have my Constitution. Will be whatever I polymorph into Constitution.
What is that?
I only have 3 second level spells, 3 third level spells, but I do have 2 fourth now. Ooh, I can choose another spell. To keep on the list.
Cool. Let's see.
No, that's concentration. I can't do that. Spiritual weapon, though, is a bonus action. And it doesn't require concentration.
yeah, no constant. That's like a mandatory spell for clerics. It's kind of like our Eldritch Blast for Warlock. Well, not a cantrip. You know what I mean? It's mandatory.
Well,
if you want to do any damage as a cleric, you need it, eh?
Yeah. Well, I wasn't going for the damage dealing cleric. I was letting do that. So I didn't have like spirit guardians. I didn't have spiritual weapon. I didn't have any.
Then you still don't. You still don't have to. You still do what you want to do because I'm not gonna like punish you guys.
I'll take it because I can still bonus action. No, because that's a spell and a spell in the same round.
And in the morning, Farai has disappeared.
Uh-oh.
But literally, you look for Prince, nothing. Just evaporated.
That's not good.
That devil stole them again.
So if I polymorph into, I don't know, say a giant. Could I still use my clerical
Into a what?
into a giant satyr? Like, you know, just reskin the giant thing.
Technically, you can't
You know,
because it's beast.
yeah, just use the stat block of a giant ape, but just like, oh, he looks more like, instead of a gorilla, he looks more like a giant raging goat man. You know, release the inner beast. Could I still use my trickery domain stuff like the disappear, the duplicate?
I would say so. As long as you don't gotta like talk.
Yeah, and would it be a duplicate of a giant? You know, like, or would it be a me? Like,
No, I would say it could look like you as you were currently. Yeah. It would be as you are current when you create it.
Okay.
Right?
So I could polymorph myself into the giant goat beast man, and there'd be two of us charging into the giants.
Possibly, yeah. I'd have to read that trickery thing again, but I don't see why not. Because like a lot of things do carry over, right?
Yeah.
A lot doesn't, but a lot does. Like as long as you're a beast.
You're a beast of a man. Or a satyr. I mean.
Yeah, like I said, just use the stat block of the something, and just like I did with the wood elf as a satyr. I just stat block of a wood elf, not looking for anything special, just the same stat block.
Yeah, but you would be. Yeah, well, I know what you're saying, but you'd still be like considered a beast, and you'd be bestial, right?
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, gorilla. No, they can't speak, right? And your intelligence still drops and all that shit. No.
Yeah, have the same stats as the thing.
Yeah,
right?
so it would just depend on that trickery thing, right? I would just have to read it, but I'm pretty sure it would. You know, it's like, who was that? Someone was like, oh, they had like tavern brawler feet, and someone turned them into an ape, and then they're arguing about like, well, no, because you're blah blah. I'm like, yeah, but he can still grapple. Like he can still use his tavern brawler. There's no reason he can't, right? Like certain thing, or and that was another one too. What the
barbarian
fuck is it?
rage
and cunning action too, right? Rogue cunning action. It's like, well, no, you can cunning action. Like
you got a point there. It's a class feature, sure. I know
Right.
barbarian rage is the main one that people want to do, and it fits. You know, sure, why not?
Oh, I totally, yeah. Like, no, it says like right in there, like you keep like certain things, right? Like if it's.
They've mentioned in the sage advice or something that a dragonborn druid who wild shapes into a wolf can still breathe fire.
Right.
You know?
Right.
The racial ability of the dragonborn is that they breathe as long as whatever creature they turn into can still breathe. They keep their dragonborn ability, which seems a little weird to me. Racial abilities seem a little weird. But class abilities, sure, why not?
Yeah, because like a wild elf, right? You should still be able to hide in lightly obscured.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, sure.
You know, like there's things.
I wonder how many people don't talk and just use that as an excuse. Oh, give it another round, kill him.
Oh. Yeah, like I don't watch Critical Role. I only know enough to know Force Grey. Sorry, Kath, what was that?
Yes, not meaning to butt in, but are we ending the session here because it's getting rather late for me?
Do you know what? We can.
It's
That'd be really great.
probably a good
I
spot.
have work
Yeah.
tomorrow.
No, that's fine. Yeah, we can.
Oh, it must be nice. I don't work.
You can.
No, so I'm only working today and then on Saturday as well. The virus.
Yeah. What do you do
But
that allows you to work at least some days?
If you
Well,
don't mind.
I'm doing dry cleaning at the moment.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, apparently my job's considered important.
Yeah, I would
So,
say so. You cleaning
Yeah.
medical gowns, masks,
Well,
other clothes that possibly could be affected. So I would say that it's
yeah.
essential, and if you look at it from that perspective.
Oh, yes.
Is it just dry cleaning, or is it also like commercial laundry, or what?
It's just commercial laundry.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Well then there you go. Yeah, that shit has to get done.
Yeah.
All right,
Well,
Kath. Yeah, 8th level. So
yeah.
good.
Yay, we've made it at least.
I know it's funny. Every time Ryan can't do it, we get a level. Hey.
That's how we
Because
know we're
he
getting
just
a level.
can't wait. He just what level are we? Oh, did we get level yet? Oh, and he's gone and level up. Woohoo!
Oh damn! That just sounds nasty.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
I know it's not. I know it's not meant that way, but it just sounds bad. I guess if you look at it in a way.
It just makes me laugh. It's just like
Yeah,
something
yeah.
off of Simpsons. It's
No,
like
I'm with you.
it's like Gil. Just can't get a break, eh? Just can't get a break. All right, have a good time, Kath. Stay healthy.
Yeah.
Wash your hands. Stay away from people.
Yeah, well,
Don't
you
touch
stay
your
healthy
face.
as well, you guys.
Yeah. Take
Yeah.
care.
Well, see you later.
Yep.
Bye.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Let me stop this recording.